Howdy folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, The Mighty Bjorn, and today for you I have a Mighty Game review, continuing on with my Spooktober special of doing reviews on various horror games. And today, folks, going to be talking a bit about Aliens here, because we're going to be talking about Alien Isolation. Now let's start off with the simple stuff. The developer's Creative Assembly. The publisher is Sega. Honestly, I didn't really know Sega was still around as a publisher anymore. The release was October 2014 for the initial release. And that being said, it's been put on just about everything, if not everything. Literally, when I went looking to see what this game was released for, there was platforms I was not even familiar with that this was released on. Now, I'll give you a quick premise. It is set 15 years after Alien, the movie. The game follows Amanda Ripley as she investigates what happened to her mother years earlier aboard the space station Sevastopol. I know I butchered that. I ain't worried about it. Just know that you're going on a space station. The premise, you're supposed to be going onto a space station and recording a flight log recorder. And yeah, kind of, you get there and, well, you're not even there and all hell breaks loose. No spoilers. It's just all hell breaks loose even before you get on the space station. Now, normally what I do is I go over what I like and what I dislike. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go start with what I dislike first. And one thing is the checkpoint saving system. What you have to do is you have to run up and you actually have to like swipe a card, like an ID card, into a phone, and then the game saves. Personally, I feel they shouldn't have gone that route. I feel it breaks the immersion of the game. This is a really immersive game outside of that, especially with the sounds and everything else. So I actually kind of feel odd that they went with that. I don't understand why they didn't just go with checkpoints or like an autosave checkpoint feature, or even just saving on command by accessing your menu whenever you want, or even a combination of both. I don't know. Maybe they went that route because Resident Evil did it years earlier, and this is a actual survival horror game like Resident Evil, so that could have been the inspiration. I don't know. Vision of the AI is odd. I really don't understand it. It's actually hopelessly, hilariously not understandable at all. What I'm getting at is I've been in absolutely pitch black rooms where I could not see my hand in front of me and AI could see me. And I've been in brightly lit rooms that were almost as bright as sunlight and they couldn't see me. I don't understand quite how that works. The alien honestly can really, really slow down this game. And I know that's the point of the game, but it gets ridiculous a little while. There was like one point where I was hunkered down in a locker for like 20 minutes waiting for the alien to walk away. And it would start to walk away, and it would just turn right back around to the locker. I wouldn't be moving. I wouldn't even be fucking breathing. And it was like it knew I was there. And it just kept doing that. And it would like leave the room. And as soon as it would leave the room, it would turn around and come back in. And it would get to the point of, really? I just want to play the fucking game. Bro. The map system is crappy. And unfortunately, you're just going to have to learn how to use it. The map is really bad in this. This is one of the worst game maps I've ever seen. The one thing I will give it credit for, which is actually interesting in itself, it's actually a full map. Like, you don't have to find things. You don't have to find a map to give you a full map. You get a full map as soon as you enter a section of the ship. And it shows you where the save points and areas of interest are and everything else. However, that being said, it's not very good. And at times it's kind of confusing. And a map definitely should not be confusing. And honestly, when it comes to the game, I honestly think I could have done without the humans and the synths, which I'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, I think they could have, you know, it was probably about 3.5 hours I was into the game until I first saw the alien. outside of a cutscene, mind you. So it's yeah, you get quite a bit in the game before you actually start seeing the alien. Let alone you don't even constantly see the alien all the way through. You still regularly see humans and synths throughout the game. I understand it's supposed to be a space station, but I think it would have been a bit more creepy to find maybe like one survivor at most, and like everything else just be wiped out. But that's just me. Now, what I liked, one thing is the graphics are, I feel, rather good, especially for a 2014 game. This game has aged well. I don't know so much towards consoles, but this is the PC version, and I think it just looks great. Looks amazing. The sound design and the atmosphere also looks rather amazing as well. They did a really good job of giving this lived-in feel of the space station. There's a lot of smoke and everything else. The lighting is... honestly, these guys must have sit there binge-watching Alien over and over and over again. Because when I saw the lighting and saw how the space station was designed, the doors, everything else, I really felt like I was in Alien. Just, because there's the steam, all the different noise in the background. And the noise makes the game even more fucking creepy, to be honest. I mean, honestly, the background sounds itself is scarier than the alien. Because, here's the way to process this and how I process this is if I just heard a sound, I had to look around and try and figure out where the fucking alien was, okay? Where the xenomorph was. And the music would add to the tension. You would hear the slightest little creaks and go, oh shit, is it right behind me? At least once it was out and about, you didn't necessarily know where it was, but you knew that it was out and about and at least somewhere near you. And that's actually one thing I thought was rather cool. That's the sound design. It's just absolutely A+. Just great sound design. And even the directional sound works really good. Sounds sound like they're coming from behind, to the left, to the right, etc. The motion tracker focus. You get the motion tracker in this game. Of course, that's a staple of the Alien franchise. And you can actually, when you bring up the motion tracker, you can actually focus on the motion tracker itself, or you can actually focus out of the motion tracker with a key prompt and look and see what's in front of you. And what happens is when you're focused on the motion tracker, things in front of you are blurred out. You can still see, but it's blurry. And then when you look out, the motion tracker becomes blurry and everything in front of you comes into focus. I think that was great depth of field, just really well done, in my opinion. The game generally ran smooth. I had absolutely no hiccups, no crashes, no FPS problems, just absolutely nothing. Just gorgeous running all the way through. The flamethrower, unfortunately, I don't really show it here. I didn't grab a clip of it, but the flamethrower is awesome, and it's really the only thing that it doesn't kill the alien or do damage to the alien, the xenomorph, but it will scare him off for a little while, that's your best bet, because the guns does not work against the xenomorph from what I could tell. I didn't even bother. I tried the revolver once, and at that point I didn't bother with anything else. There is also a shotgun in the game, which, yeah, they're great for close encounters, and we've seen Aliens where the shotgun was effective. But honestly, I think the important focus of this game was to take the Alien and the Alien franchise back to its roots, where you just had this indestructible monster that just hawked venom. You know what I mean? And it just worked great. And, not actually doing damage with the flamethrower, not being able to kill the creature, adds to the whole environmental experience of just being scared. What the hell can I do to get rid of this thing? To get it off me? To make it go away? Stuff of that nature. And, like I said, the flamethrower is the only thing that really works. Now, that being said, though, it does go through ammo rather quick. There is mods for this game. I didn't really dive too deep in the mods. I did a vanilla playthrough. I'm thinking about actually maybe trying this game again with mods to see how much it changes the experience, but that's neither here nor there. I just want to throw out that it does have mods. There's also a general lack of ammo in the game. Definitely appreciate that as well. Once again, gives you that more survival horror type aspect of I need to conserve ammo. Same way, you can also create different items such as medical kits and stuff like that, but those supplies are hard to come by. So once again, it brings you down to I need these compounds to make a medical kit, but then these compounds also can make this. These compounds can make this, and essentially you're really restricted on how many materials you can carry, and then it ends up coming down to what do I build most importantly at this time, because there's also like defensive type grenades, there's mines, there's traps, like I said, the medical kit, etc., etc. The list just goes on. The alien animations are absolutely great, just gorgeous alien animations, and the alien himself looks great. Great job on the xenomorph. The voice acting is rather good, and it feels like something from the movies. It feels like Alien. This essentially it comes down to is this could have been the sequel to Alien before Aliens. And of course they made, movies like Alien Covenant, and yeah, I don't want to talk about those. Now, that being said, this is the last thing, and this is going to be the most odd thing I've ever stated. The AI is stupid. Wow, I'm sure you all seen that coming. Every review, I say the AI is stupid, or just about every review. However, this is actually stupid in a good way. The xenomorph always seems to be following you, always seems to be watching you, kind of like how a simp watches Amarath. And that's actually how the devs created the xenomorph. I mean, literally, you could have a full brass jazz band playing, and the xenomorph is parked right on that ass like it's got a front row ticket. It doesn't care about the jazz band. It only cares about the player. And I think that's great. You always feel constantly hounded. You always feel exhausted. It gets to the point where it gets frustrating. Like, come on, leave me alone so I can fucking get out of this locker for a minute. That's literally what it feels like. And honestly, they knocked it right out of the ballpark with that. I mean, the AI is actually stupid. And I've seen people actually say, oh, the AI is so great. No, I've actually looked at dev notes about this. The AI is stupid. But the way they coded it, the way they designed it, right off, just perfect right off. And it's completely random. Now, there is scripted events, but a lot of it is absolutely random, and it's partially based on how much noise you make. The more noise you make, the more often it will appear. But even if you're sneaking around nonstop, it will appear. It will find you. So it's really cool. And like I said, that's survival horror, and it just makes you constantly feel hounded, which, on the other turn too, I kind of wish that wasn't the case, because it does really slow the game down. I think it took me about 14, 15-ish hours to get through my playthrough. And yeah, I mean, just, the alien hounded me. I bet you if it wasn't for the alien hounding so much, this would be closer to probably a 5-hour game, maybe a 6-hour game. It would actually go rather quick if it wasn't for all the alien hounding, and let alone when he does hound you, he sticks around, and that just gets to be a nuisance after so long. So I will admit, folks, this game actually scared the fuck out of me at times. Now, that being said, I am not an easy guy to scare. I don't play a lot of horror games, don't watch a lot of horror movies, And when it came to this game, I knew what I was getting myself into because I am a fan of the Alien series, and I was pre-warned that this was going to be more like Alien than Aliens. So I knew what I was getting into. And, like, damn, there were still moments where I was just staring at my screen, eyes as wide as plates. Just a hell of an experience. If you're looking for a survival horror game that will just scare the bejesus out of you, just with the tension, this is a great choice. Great job, Creative Assembly, on this game. Either ways, you can get the game on Steam. You can get it on Epic, which recently, quick question, have I said fuck Epic Games recently? That's a long story in itself. Either ways, it's $40. I'm not going to go over the DLCs. I don't have the DLCs. I only have the core game, but there is different various DLCs. I would say if you're interested in the game, go looking further at the DLCs. I was actually interested in the Nostromo DLC, which actually plays through the events of Alien. So that seemed interesting to me. But anyway, folks, thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully you all enjoyed this review of Alien Isolation, and have yourself a wonderful day.